What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH, I love the scene between Bobby and Epiphany. I really did because, it's always good to talk to somebody who goes through what you go through and they can relate to what you're going through. Because basically, Epiphany has type 2 diabetes as well. She was diagnosed in 2016. And she was the same way Bobby was. In denial, stubborn, didn't take the illness seriously, and a year into her diagnosis, while she was on vacation with Milo, she ended up having a heart attack. And that was her wake-up call. That heart attack was her wake-up call to start taking that illness seriously, start, listening to the doctors, taking her health more seriously, and that's what she did. If she wanted to live and be around, that's what you have to do. Bobby, I'm glad Bobby finally, sees the severity of the situation. Like, having diabetes is a very serious thing. Like, it's a very serious illness, but it's not a death sentence. You're not going to die. The only way you're going to die from it is if you don't monitor yourself. If you don't change your habits and stuff, and you don't monitor the illness, you will die rather quickly. You will die. It's not a joke. You just have to take it more seriously and change up your habits. Eat better, exercise more, pay attention to your glucose, your sugar, pay attention to all that stuff. If you do that, you're fine. And that's exactly what Epiphany was trying to tell her, because you don't want to, be like her and be in denial for so long that, you end up having a heart attack or a stroke, and, because that's what that can lead to. So I'm glad they had that conversation, and she was talking about how Bobby needs to start leaning on her family and letting her family in on this, letting them help her, because for her, it's been a blessing to have Milo in her life, because Milo has really been there to support her. He hasn't tried to, control her or nothing. He's been there, very supportive. They go to the farmer's market together, and he knows her dietary plan better than she do. Well, I'm not surprised about that, because Milo basically is a little health nut, so I'm not shocked. But I believe that she can beat this. You can live your life, and I've read a lot of comments on my video yesterday from people telling me that they have diabetes and, the situation that they're going through. And, my hat is off to a lot of you, because it's not easy getting a diagnosis like that. Of course, you're going to feel a certain way when you hear that diagnosis. It could be cancer. It could be anything. You're going to be scared. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But it's okay to, be afraid in that moment. But after that moment, that's when you have to have that confidence and that attitude that you're going to beat it and you're going to get through it. Diabetes, you can beat that too, even though it's not something that goes away. But you have to learn how to live with it and not let it define you, not let it cripple you, still live your life. You're going to have to change up your eating habits. But that doesn't mean that you can't have, people think because you got diabetes or whatever, that means that you can't have some of your favorites. You can. From what I've been told, you can still have a piece of cake and, a Snicker bar. You can have stuff like that, but you just can't do it how you used to do it. It's all right to have a piece of cake, but that's it. That's all you're allowed is a piece of cake. Not two, not three, not four. No, you're allowed to have a cookie, but it ain't going to be, you can't eat it how you used to eat it. You got to eat it in moderation. You just can't do it how you used to. Everything is just moderation. You know what I mean? But Bobby, she gonna get through it. She's definitely gonna get through it. I understand that she was in shock when she found out, because like she said, she's used to dealing with this with patience. And I think a lot of people are like that. I think a lot of people in this world, they see people or hear about things about people having cancer and diabetes, and you never think that it can happen to you until it does. You know what I mean? Just because it happened to that person, don't never think that it can't happen to you, because it can. but there are preventative, measures that you can take to either make sure it doesn't happen, or if it does happen, there's ways to control it and get it under control, So I think Bobby gonna get through. She gonna get through it. I just hate how they're making it seem like it's some big death sentence. Like, it's not. And I'm glad Epiphany educated her on it, like letting her know. But anyway, moving on from that. I like the scene with Jason and Michael. Michael came up in there pretending like he was drunk. I'm like, oh God. But he played a good drunk character, though. He did. He played a good drunk, pretending like he was all drunk off that Hennessy or whatever. And he came prepared. Because he asked Jason, he was like, you know how to pick locks? He said, you still know how to pick locks, don't you? He was like, yeah. He said, all I need is a paper clip. Michael, he said, bam, I got a paper clip. Michael came prepared. See, I like this. It's always refreshing because usually, as you all know, Jason is the one that's always saving everybody. But this time, I like here and there where we get to see somebody saving him. So it's always a good thing. I just can't wait for Michael to get his kid back and all this nonsense could be done and over with. But of course, them silly ass guards came back. But I like the way they handled them. Because that Billy dude obviously is nothing but Shiloh's little henchman. But the other guy who brought Michael in, he was actually a pretty decent cop. He was a decent dude. And, Jason just let the cop know, like, you need to find you somebody better, like find better officers or better, people to be around. Because he is a decent cop. He's not one of Shiloh's little minions. But, and of course, they got out of there and Sam was waiting. Speaking of, I don't understand why Sam was even standing there entertaining a conversation with Shiloh. Like, she should have just kicked him in the family Jews and just kept it moving. Like, why are you even sitting there entertaining a conversation? Like, for what purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you sitting there talking to him for? Like, it's a waste of time. And it's so funny how Shiloh keeps talking about, oh, I don't need the pledges. I got all the pledges up here. Okay, just because you remember everybody pledges, what is that going to do for the district attorney? What is that going to do for the police? That's not going to do anything. They can't go based off your mind. Like, even if you tell them of a crime that so-called happened, you have to have evidence to back it up, or else they're not even going to investigate, because that's a lot of resources for them to investigate something that happened a long time ago, and they're not going to do it without sufficient evidence. So just because it's in your mind doesn't mean anything. I like the way Lucas stood up for Sam and stuff like that, but I was kind of agreeing with Sam that Lucas need to back down a little bit, because he kept telling Shiloh, stay away from my son. And I'm like, Lucas, stop talking, because if he kept talking, you're going to end up leading him to your son, and he's going to figure out that that's supposedly his son. Don't do it. Keep your mouth closed. I respect the fact that he jumped in for Sam, but chill out. I mean, like I said yesterday, I agree with Alexis on the whole, illegal front, like, because you're giving Shiloh more ammunition. I agree on that, but I also agree with Julian's methods. Like, they tried it the legal way. It's not working. So they have to do it another way. That's the only way at this point to get rid of Shiloh. Because everybody keeps saying, well, we're not going to let Shiloh get away with this or whatever. Well, then kill him and get it over with. What are y'all waiting for? You know what I'm saying? Do something. Because you tried it the right way, and the right way just wasn't working like that. So what else are you going to do? It kind of irritated me how Alexis, once she found out Sam helped Julian destroy those adoption records, she again blamed Julian. Talking about, oh, you got your daughter, you used your daughter and all that. First of all, you're talking like Sam is 14 or something. Sam is damn near 40. She's a grown-ass woman. She knew what she was doing. And she agreed to do it. Like, she basically masterminded the whole damn thing. But yet, they want to put all the blame on Julian. Sam's an adult. She knew what she was doing. And it ain't no different from crimes that she committed with Jason. Talking about, oh, she got 2 kids. Okay. She's not thinking about her kids, so she willfully went along with this. Was she thinking about her kids when she decided to go undercover? That was her idea too. She decided to go undercover in the DOD, knowing that she could possibly be sexually assaulted and drugged. She wasn't thinking about her kids when she chose to do that. Like, I don't understand why they don't make Sam take accountability for decisions that Sam chooses to make. These are all her plans. Everybody else just follows her lead, but yet you blame the other people instead of her. That's not right. It was her plan. She needs to own it. Period. But of course, Julian's going to take the fall and be the fall guy when none of this was even his plan. Like, he wanted to do something, but he didn't come up with that plan to destroy the records. That was more Sam. He went to her for help and figuring out what to do. That was her that came up with all of that. But yet, he takes all the blame. Please. Cry me a damn river. But you can still see the little sexual chemistry between Julian and Alexis. Definitely you can. You definitely can. But anyway. So, Kim. Kim. Poor little Kim. She is seriously having a break with reality at this point. Like, Drew kept trying to talk to her, trying to get through to her. He just can't. She's not listening to Drew. She's not listening to him. She wanted to go get artificially inseminated and stuff and raise the child on her own again. And I don't blame Drew. Drew was like, number one, I'm not doing that. Two, I'm not about to let another child grow up in this world without a father the way Oscar did. I don't blame him. You know, she still won't listen to him. So, of course, he had to go to Julian to try to get Julian to talk some sense into her. But Julian already tried. Even the first time she mentioned this, he tried to talk her down. She wouldn't listen to him either. She's not going to listen to nobody. And then she's sitting there having these little visions and stuff of Oscar and hearing some baby crying. She's having a total meltdown. She's having a total psychotic breakdown. Then she's sitting there calling Shiloh, which we all knew was going to happen. So my guess is she going to want Shiloh to get her pregnant. I'm like, oh, God. No. This is the worst idea possible. You cannot replace one child with another. You just can't. She's sitting there talking about, oh, I'm not trying to replace a child. Yes, you are. That's exactly what you're doing. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I understand, like, she's, you know, like I said, for 15 years, it's just been her and Oscar. So when he died, she felt like a big part of her died. And that's why she wants that back. And I can understand that. I can sympathize with that. But she needs professional help bad. Like, she is having such a psychotic break. And the last person she should be turning to is a slime like Shiloh. That's the last person she should be dealing with. The very last. But anyway, I want to say that's everything in this episode. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything in this episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see y'all all later. Peace.